All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. As always, it's great to get to talk about football. Obviously, NFL offseason is really it's in full swing. I mean, we got signings, we got deals, we got releases. It's a lot going on, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot is happening in football right now. It's like we talked about, it's a bad time to be an old player, an up and coming player, or just, you know, a I wouldn't say a bad player, but
No,
but
you can say it. You can say it, bad player.
but a bad player. I mean, it's cutting time. It's time to start working out deals. They're gonna start making cuts for this cap. I mean, the biggest signing so far is definitely Max Crosby signing that big $100 million deal. But again, they don't have anybody to pay, so they could righteously give him everything.
Yeah.
Dak and CD Lamb we restructured their contracts to free up $40 million. Seattle released Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf requested a trade. There's been a lot of releases. The Jaguars let go of Christian Kirk. There's just a lot going on. A lot going on.
So one of the trades that I want to talk about is Deebo Samuel. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
you're a
Debo
big
going
Jane
to
Daniels
Washington.
fan, and with him being with the Commanders, do you think Debo pushes the needle that much for them as contending for a Super Bowl?
Nah, because I think like we talked about, I think you got to fix the defense. Obviously, it showed defense wins championships. We just seen it. I think that helps them. I think that if he stays healthy, man, that's going to be a scary offense to have to play. Him
Oh yeah,
with what Debo brings to the table, and the way Jaden Daniels runs that offense, I'm not gonna lie, they're probably gonna be a tough team to stop if they can stay healthy. I think they try to go get either. I guess that's fine. I still think they should try to maybe go get. No disrespect to Austin Eckler or Brian Robinson, but I think they should try to go get like a really good running back. No disrespect to those two guys, but
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that
No,
that would help out Jaden Daniels a lot. Because Austin Eckler, although he is really good, it's his injuries that are concerned. Same for Brian Robinson.
yeah, he has had a very oft injured first couple of seasons. So
And Austin Eckler, it's concussions for him.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think that'll elevate their offense as long as he can stay on the field.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
the 49ers have to eat a lot of his contract. They have to. I'm pretty sure they're taking that hit.
yeah. I mean, they got him for a fifth round pick too. So I mean, if it doesn't really work out, it's not like you gave up that much to get him.
Yeah, they pretty much just kind of said, "Yeah, we'll take him,
Yeah.
but we're not
So
going to give up a lot."
the Bears, they signed Joe Tooney to
Yeah,
a pretty decent deal. I think that's a step in the right direction for them, obviously. Obviously, of course, they still need to continue to build before they're even in that conversation of contending. But we'll see what other moves they make. I'm interested to see what the rest of their offseason looks like.
yeah. I'm really curious to see what happens with DK Metcalf. I'm really interested to see if they let him go. Because you just released Tyler Lockett, so if you let go of DK, that's your whole offense.
I think Seattle's about to go into a rebuild, at least offensively, anyways.
I mean, they got Jackson Smith. He's young, so it can work out for him. I get it. Like you said, they're going into a rebuild. DK is pretty decent receiver, so he's kind of in his prime right now, so he doesn't want to stick around. He's got more. He doesn't have, I would say, not that many years ahead of him than he does behind him. So, especially if you're going into a rebuild, because you don't know the quarterback situation, coaching, all that stuff. So, I think somebody's gonna. I think they'll let him do it. I don't think he's going to be cheap as far as trade wise. He'll probably be traded for, I'd say, second round pick. That's kind of where I would put it. I don't know if he's worth first. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say
depends on my situation.
I was thinking maybe third or fourth. I mean, considering the
If
last
I'm Kansas City, I would give up my first round pick for him. A lot of people say that that's where he's fixing to go. I would, if I was Kansas City, I would, yeah, I would do it. I think that that's just you're one step away. You really don't need that late pick because you were just in the Super Bowl, so you're going to have like the 30th pick. You could give up that first round pick for
yeah, I
DK, and
mean,
I think you'd be fine.
yeah, it's not like it's a high first, anyways. I mean, a low first round pick.
Exactly. So, and you still have your second round pick. I wouldn't give up a lot for him because he kind of is hurt. I wouldn't say all the time, but he does have some injuries.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. So another one of those. If he
He's
stays
another one
healthy,
of those. Yeah, if he stays healthy, he's really good, but it's the staying on the field part.
exactly.
Um, the Eagles signed Zach Bond. Not surprised. He made All Pro, so not surprised there. I kind of figured they would. You kind of didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you really didn't.
Jacksonville released Christian Kirk today.
Told you.
Um,
I told you it
I
was
think
coming.
that'll be. I think that'll be a low key pickup for some team. He's hurt all the time. That's his problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. When they made that playoff run, he actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, but he
He
hasn't
actually looked
since.
pretty good, but it's the injuries. He's hurt a lot.
Exactly.
But I think he'll go somewhere. He'll probably be kind of like he was in Jacksonville, you know. And every now and then he might pop off kind of guy.
Yeah.
Sam Hubbard from the Bengals retired today. They released him, then he retired. So I would assume he's from Ohio, born and raised. That's where he lives, where he went to college, you know, blah blah blah. So I guess he was like, you know what? I don't want to go anywhere else. So
Just called it quits.
just called it quits. 29 years old. So got to retire. You know, that's not a lot of people can say that. So
Yeah. I mean, you already been to a Super Bowl. You've had, somewhat success. So
they also paid Saquon over the offseason. So the money shouldn't be a problem for these teams unless Philly just has an unlimited amount of money. Because I mean, pretty much they're fixing to lose some guys. Obviously, they're probably going to lose Josh Sweat.
they did release Darius Slay.
They did release Darius Slay, so that money came from Darius Slay, if I had to assume, because it's not like they gave him a bunch of money, but they released Darius Slay. They have rookies on the back end
Yep.
in their corners and in safety, so
And
it'll
their
be
D
a couple
line.
years before they get to see their money. So, and yeah, their defense is relatively young. So,
Yeah.
so you can afford to kind of spend some money on the offensive side, but they franchised T. Higgins again. The Bengals did. A lot of people are calling out the Bengals for not paying him. Now, you can slice it however you want to. People are saying that the Bengals are just a cheap franchise, that they're not even going to get a deal worked out. They're calling it disrespectful to franchise tag T. Higgins. But here's my thought on that. He's been hurt 2 years in a row and's only played 12 games. Do you really want to give him $100 million for him to play half the season?
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of overpaying is happening right now in the league. So I wouldn't be surprised if they would have gave him that amount of money, even though he hasn't played that many games. It's basically his impact. Even though he hasn't played, like a full, 16, 17 games, he still impacted the game when he has played.
Oh
So
yeah, like when he plays, there's a big difference, and you can tell.
yeah,
It's the pressure that he puts on the team because you can't double cover them both. You double
nope.
cover Chase, and I mean, T. Higgins scores 3 touchdowns. It is what it is.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison, but it's like we say, it's a business. You know, if you pay, if you pay all these, if you pay you can't pay everybody. I don't assume. I don't know. Philly does it, but so I don't know. I think that they're fixing to give Chase probably, if I had to assume, one of the highest contracts in NFL history as a wide receiver. So it's probably going to be something insane.
You think it's Super Bowl or bust for them next year?
Mm, maybe. I think they at least need to make it to at least the, I would say I'd say at least the divisional or the championship game or something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's tough. You're paying all these players, and you I mean, you want them to perform. So if not, you got to tell them that they got to start reworking deals, reworking their contracts. So you can build Super Bowl winning teams. Look at Dallas. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb just reworked their deal. They didn't rework it. They just put it on as a signing bonus. But they freed up $40 million. That means they're fixing to pay Micah Parsons. If I had to assume, they're probably about to give him like 100 mil. If I had to take a guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the time of the NFL where people start getting cut. The Jets have hit the panic button. They're releasing everybody. They are 100% going rebuild. I would assume they're probably going to draft a young quarterback because there's no point in getting a veteran. You don't even have any wide receivers. Your defense is pretty decent. So I don't know. Maybe you do go get a veteran guy. I mean, they just released the guys Aaron Rodgers brought with him. So,
I'm not surprised by that though.
I mean, Garrett Wilson's still there. I mean, you got a pretty decent defense. They just really kind of got overwhelmed a lot last year because their offense sucked. It doesn't matter how good your defense is if you're on the field, 60% of the time.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, like I said, that Jets defense has been really good the last couple of seasons, and in this season they just didn't look that great because the offense wasn't even capable of putting points on the board.
Yeah. So I don't know. The NFL is kind of crazy right now. Brock Purdy's probably fixing to get paid. They said it's not going to be nothing crazy, which it's crazy to say this, but they said they're only going to give him 40 million only. But that's a lot of money for the last pick in the NFL draft. His life has dramatically changed, and it's
Oh yeah,
crazy that he shouldn't even be playing. That he shouldn't even be playing. If you want me to be honest. I mean, the only reason he's playing is because Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance got hurt, and that's crazy. And now he's possibly a franchise $40 million quarterback. Been to the Super Bowl once. That's crazy.
well, I mean, if you think about it, and not to
It
sound
just makes you.
biased,
It just makes you wonder, like all the talent that has been kind of dispersed, and people that didn't really, realistically, really get a chance. Like how good they could have been, and Brock Purdy kind of shows that okay, well, just because I was the last pick in the NFL draft doesn't mean I'm a bum. Now, the counterpart to that, and I know what you're fixing to say. You can call it how you want. The 49ers on paper have the best team in NFL. Used to. They don't really much anymore because they kind of got rid of Debo. They had Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Christian McCaffrey, a top 5 defense in the league, one of the best offensive lines in the league. I mean, of course he's going to go to the Super Bowl. I think you could put anybody behind in that scheme, and they would be almost unstoppable.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because Sam Darnold was over there. He couldn't cut it, and they let him go.
Yeah, well, look at what he did in Minnesota. He just earned himself.
Trey Lance was the presumed starter. He got hurt, and he came back, and he still couldn't beat him out. So you got to give you got to get a man some type of credit. Yeah, that offense is loaded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you stuck in, man, could you imagine what like Justin Herbert or Josh Allen or somebody with an arm that could Joe Burrow or somebody like that would do in that offense? It'd be insane.
I mean,
they'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's a given though.
But like you said, you got to give respect to Brock Purdy. But you seen last year when without those weapons, he struggled pretty bad. Now you can say that for a lot of times, but
yeah, but in some cases, even the best quarterbacks struggle when they don't have a capable offense around them. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He struggled hard that first half of the season, and he picked it up on the back end.
Yeah. I mean, they were finding ways to win.
Yep.
So yeah, when you lose, Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL, Debo couldn't stay on the field or off the couch from what it looked like. And I mean, Christian McCaffrey was hurt all year long. They literally had a plague of injuries. Their whole running back core got hurt. They didn't even have a running back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So literally, everybody got hurt. Christian, then what was his name? Jordan Mason. That was his name, right?
Yeah, it was Jordan Mason.
He came in and took the league by storm. He was running all over people. Then he got hurt. And then that rookie they drafted out of Louisville, Isaac Garindo, I think. And then he got hurt, and it was like, well, what do we do now? And then, so, yeah. But I want to speak on basketball a little bit. The Mavs are sick.
Oh, yeah, because Kyrie tore his ACL.
Sick. Kyrie tore his ACL, and Anthony Davis says, I don't even think he's not playing. So
the Mavs are going to burn the city. The Mavs fans are going to burn the city to the ground because the Lakers are having continued success. Like they're looking to make
they're kind of figuring it out. Now it took a little bit of time because, like you said, Luka's kind of used to being the guy. And in LA, you're not taking the spotlight from LeBron James. It is what it is. But they're kind of figuring it out. Their defense sucks. They can't stop anybody. But nobody can really stop them offensively either. You got two people that can score, 30 points a game.
Playoffs is going to be a different story, though, because they're going to have to play a team 7 times.
Yeah, but they also got to play the Lakers 7 times. A lot of people are saying you don't want to catch the Lakers in 7 games. Now, I'm not a basketball person. It's going to be hard to beat some teams if you can't stop them.
It depends on who it is. If the Thunder were to play the Lakers in a series, I'd say Thunder all day.
Yeah, because I don't think they'd be able to stop them.
Yeah. And the Thunder actually have legit.
They're good on both sides of the ball. Yeah. Both sides of the court, however you want to look at it. So I don't know if the Lakers would. I mean, they're just not going to be able to stop them. I mean, I don't think the Lakers would be able to stop, even if they made it and they had to play the Celtics. I don't know if they'd be able to stop them from scoring 170 points.
Yeah, the Celtics have a very fluid team from starting 5 all the way in. They probably got like an 8-man rotation. And the way that they play that offense, it's basically 5. Everybody can shoot. They're 2 best guys who can shoot and drive. They're the main focal point. So they're going to be looking to break you down, driving to the basket. And it's just a lot. The Celtics just have a lot of firepower. And the
That's
Lakers
what
are
I'm
just,
saying. I don't know if the Lakers will be able to stop them.
yeah. Which, again, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away from the Lakers. They're a great basketball team this year. Made one of the biggest trades in NBA history. But the playoffs is going to be the real tell on if they can really get LeBron that fifth ring.
Do you think it's make or break for LeBron? Like if he wants it, it's this year. Or you don't think it's going to happen?
If he plays again next year, they have to bring in somebody else. Or I just don't see him getting another ring. So now I will be honest. If this year, I think it's going to be his best opportunity. I could be wrong, though. I don't know.
So yeah. So yeah, like you said, touching back on the Mavericks, man, there, it sucks. It would be terrible to be a Mavs fan. You just let go of Luka, and then Kyrie turns around and tears his ACL, and Anthony
Yep.
Davis isn't even playing.
Yep.
Is
Their
he playing?
playoff. Nah, last time I checked, he not. They say he should. He probably gonna be out for the rest of the regular season. Which you might as well just say the rest of the season because now that Kyrie's hurt,
Yeah,
there's
they're
no
done.
chance that they're gonna win any more basketball. Well, not any more basketball games, but it's gonna be hard for them to win games without any star power.
Yeah.
So, Mavs fans, I'm sorry. I hurt for y'all because that sucks. Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. But
yeah. I mean, but yeah, that's all I want to touch about on basketball. If you want to touch on anything.
oh, the last thing I was gonna say about basketball was just the Western Conference is always tough. So I think, like I said, if really any team, if any of those teams makes it out of the West, they got a real shot to win the whole thing. Obviously, the Thunder are the favorite because they have a young team. They have star power with their top two players, and they have role guys who fit in very well to what their main two guys do. So for them, it's really just getting over the hump.
Okay.
But that's pretty much all I
Yeah.
got for all of that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, basketball is one of those sports like there's just so many games like, now they're starting to get down to kind of I wouldn't say they're starting to get to there, but they're starting to, start preparing cuz when do the playoffs start?
Playoffs start in what,
Yeah, I
April?
know it's April. So, yeah, we're getting there. So, you know, the Lakers are kind of starting to figure it out and kind of look like a team that could be a little scary, but it's just like I said, it's just their defense. Like they can't stop anybody.
Yep. And like I
So,
said, uh, going
but
up,
then again, Luka can score 40. He done it. He done it last year in Dallas. I mean, he pretty much put their team on his back and was out there playing the whole game, dropping 40 points a game. So he can do it.
yeah. But
So
like I said, again, it depends on who the other
if you,
team is.
like if you score 120, you got to keep the other team from scoring 121.
Exactly.
So
So
eventually, you know, that would just have to be your hope of in a 7-game series that you're just gonna have to go 7 games and hope that LeBron can go 7 games.
yeah, he don't run out of gas. That's what the narrative was last season. You can tell he was tired out on the court
He
because
was running out of gas. Yeah, I mean he's
yeah,
old.
he
He's
can't
40.
carry. So
So, but
I get it.
that's pretty much all I got for this episode, anyway.
Um, before we break out of here, I'm gonna just say, obviously it's March now, so we got March Madness coming up in like what, another I think like the tournament actually starts in like another couple of weeks because the regular season ends this weekend and then they start tournament play for
I've
conferences.
seen. Speaking of that, in women's basketball, I seen that they did a coin flip for who won the SEC or had the number one
Yeah,
seed or something.
that's because it was a tie. So that you normally you have
I
to
didn't know
defer to.
you. I didn't know you flipped a coin.
Yeah, you got to
That's the
defer to
craziest thing.
something because they can't just like
I thought they might just played for it.
nah, nah.
No, I
For
guess
stuff
that
like
makes
that,
too
when
much
it
sense.
comes to your seating, that kind of thing is determined by like some
Because a
like
lot of people saying that it was rigged because South Carolina won.
I couldn't tell you. I'm really not sure.
But yeah, that's March Madness coming up. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Definitely looking forward to that. We should see some real good Cinderella stories, some crazy buzzer beaters. So looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
I
That's pretty much all we got. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I think we could do. I think we should do a bracket and kind of follow along. Like,
Man, you know what's really funny? Most people's I think like 95% of those brackets are gone after the first weekend.
oh yeah, they said the odds of hitting a perfect bracket, you have a better chance of winning the lottery twice than having a
That's
perfect bracket. I
that's
seen that.
correct.
I seen that on some. I don't remember what it was on. I don't know if it was twice, but I think they
Yeah.
said you had a better chance of hitting the lotto than getting a perfect bracket in March Madness. Which you're right. You see people that come up out of nowhere and beat like the number one team.
Well, let me go buy some lotto tickets then.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here as always. Socials at the end of the video. Uh, like, comment, subscribe, share.
Yeah, one more thing before we hop off here. Um, we've kind of been. I wouldn't say we've been off of our game here lately, but we've a lot of, I would say, life behind the scenes are kind of happening. I'm hoping, I guess I can say we're hoping to kind of get back into more of a rhythm. It's just going to take us some time. Behind the scenes kind of stuff is happening with life and everything. So hopefully by the next, I would say by the draft, we should be back to producing 2 episodes a week.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, but yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that being said, we'll catch you on the next episode.